Shalom, Israel, and start souls by giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the Apostle GMS and honors to you brothers that are doing the work in truth, sincerity. Want to do a quick one about this Louis Theroux documentary. You can watch it on the BBC if you're in England. Don't know how you'll be able. I'm sure you'll be able to find a means to watch it outside of the UK. But it's basically called Dark States, Episode 1, Heroin Town, right? This town in, it says embeds himself in the West Virginian community. It's called Huntington or something like that, right? And what you call it? So the fire chief lady, I would have thought it was, ambulance services and that, but apparently the fire chief services and the fire crews are the ones that actually deal with overdoses. And one of the people that he follows is the fire chief, like I'm saying, and she basically goes around the whole town, just showing him certain things. And then one of the stats that she says is this place Huntington, right? Is 49,000 people live there. 1,100 of them they've had to treat for OD. I don't know what period, whether that's in a year or longer, I'm not too sure, but it says 1,100 people they had to treat. And then she went on to say that the 80% of the people that they have to, 1,100 people have overdosed. But I don't know if that's because she didn't really go too deep into it. But basically said 80% of the people that they treat started on prescription drugs. Right, and one of the things that they're doing is actually trying to sue the pharmaceutical companies, right? Because over here in the UK, you don't actually see commercials for no drugs. That's not something that you hear. That just doesn't happen. The law basically says that you cannot. In fact, was that just for cancer or for any drug? I mean, it eludes me at this point in time. But basically, you don't see adverts of, take this drug, take that drug, especially with the NHS, where you're just provided with drugs. They say, all right, you've got this, take this style of drug, and then that will be from whatever manufacturer, right? But I just want to get into a few things, right? Right, it says, Micah 2 and 1 says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Right, and I bring that up because these scientists know that people are going to get, and all of a sudden they say also, oh my God, people are get addicted to opioids. Who knew? Right? That's just Esau basically bringing down people, man. Get people hooked on these drugs, and then they get more, they buy more, and they buy more, and they buy more. And when they buy more, what happens? The manufacturers of those drugs get paid. They get paid good, right? But also, furthermore, it's to basically just to destroy the people, man. Because Esau's aim at the end of the day is to bring down the population of the world. That's his aim. Right? It says, Sirach 12 and 10 says, never trust thine enemy. Right, so if you use a J, man, why you shouldn't be trusting yourself for shit. You always got to double check everything this guy says, man. Sadaki, I was in a Jew, we watch a documentary, and then sometimes there'll be things that we can't say yay or nay about, so we always just say, hey, man, you got to take it with a pinch of salt. Why? Because Esau said it. Anything this man says, you got to take with a pinch of salt, because for instance, he will tell you to take chemo, but chemo just kills you, where there's natural cures for cancer. Right, but then if you say that and then someone doesn't take chemo, now I'm at fault. You see how this man operates? Right, so then I'm now left in the position of saying, well, you better seek, consultation with your doctor, just to cover my ass, because Esau is such the devil that he is, that he doesn't give credit to the herbs and the drugs that the Lord has made. All this for a profit, man. Right, so it goes on to say, for like as iron rusteth. Right, one of the properties of iron is iron, it's its chemical name Fe plus O, which is oxygen, is rust. That is just a physical fact. That's what's gonna happen. So it's basically saying you trust your enemy, but just like you know, as something so sure as the sun rising, something so sure as iron rusting, his wickedness is gonna come out. It goes on to say, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And that's what a lot of these people are going to be. They're like, oh shit, Esau really is the devil, right? It says, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away, right? So, but you ain't supposed to be trusting Esau, which is a so-called white man, according to the Bible, right? It goes on to say, I'll get this now as well. Sirach 13:23 says, when a rich man speaketh, which in this world is Esau, if Esau says anything, right? It says, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. Right, and hey, brothers can attest this. You tell your parents, son, yo, don't take this, don't do that. You know, that's gonna kill you. Oh, then the Edomite will say the same thing. Oh, okay, yeah. Right, because we're the poor in this world. No one cares what we gotta say. If Joel Osteen was to go out and say, hey, these the real Jews are black, all of a sudden, oh yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, that hey, that is scriptural, man. Hey, shit. Read them Revelations. If the president was to say it, right? So, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And you see that every time with the cat, man. They just be like, whatever, nigga, man. So, and if he stumbled, they will help to overthrow him. So, right, hey, man, you might be going in some facts, some wisdom, but then, you might slip in what you say. Right, and then everyone's, yes, see, we told you you're full of shit, which is why you got to be on the top of your game all the time. But at the end of the day, that's a stumbling block for them. Right, it says Psalms 55:21 says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And ask Gad and Reuben about Esau, man. It's speaking all that nice smooth stuff, but war was in his heart. His aim was to take them down, and he did. Same with these drugs. He would say, hey, take these drugs, it's good for your pain. This, that, and the other. In fact, and that's something else you need to go into about balance, man. You taking all these drugs, you just take so much that you become addicted to them. It says Matthew 24:22 says, and except those days should be shortened, they should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because one of the things Esau's trying to do is basically make every mandatory that everyone gets immunized, man. And that and all of them shots. Why are you going to be putting crazy strains of drug in a child when the child is just but a small child, man, just out the womb a couple of months, and now you're going to be sticking all kinds of poisons in him. A brother can, one of the brothers in the London camp, right, he can give a testimony about how, one of the children at his child's nursery, right, got the shots during the summer holidays, and when he came back, the kid was autistic, man. Because they usually have mercury in them, man. Mercury fucks your shit up, man. It says, Sirach 38:1 says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. And it goes on basically talking about how really and truly, whatever skill set you have in this truth, right, the Lord is the one that made you such. The Lord is the one that gave you that lot. Therefore, if you see a guy good with the herbs, hey, honor him, man. Because and it goes sense of for the uses which he may have of him, and in this one we have plenty of uses for a physician, man. Be like, hey, shalom, we salute him and that. But hey, yo, aunt, I got such and such wrong with me, this, that, and the other. But hey, yeah, cool. It's what you gotta do. You gotta, take this herb and that herb. But you don't want to do it like that. You gotta do it like that because you have need to know the herbs. For instance, garlic, Garlic is good for many things. It says the active compound in garlic, allicin, is found in a lot of these pharmaceuticals, right? But if you take too much garlic, you burn a hole in your stomach, right? And get ulcers and all of that, because that stuff is potent. Like, there's ways to take the garlic. You take the garlic once you've eaten, right? So and it's what I was saying earlier on about balance, which is why you need to know what you have to give honor to a physician, right? Because you might just know, yeah, the garlic is good, but then you take it the wrong way, right? But Esau, on the other hand, he's just there like, nah, that's that wacky stuff. If people laugh at you because you go natural, right? But it goes on to say, for of the Most High cometh healing, and that's ultimately what it is. Look at Paul. Paul was performing miracles, but he himself couldn't overcome the what do you call it, the ailments that he had. Because ultimately it's the Most High that says yea or nay to whether you can be healed or not. It says, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Right, and great men he shall be in admiration. Right, because Esau's a base man. What was that? Job 4:17 says, setteth up over it the basest of men. Right, but great men, what do you call it? Uh, admire a physician because they know his worth. Whereas Esau will just rather make you pay thousands and thousands of dollars for petrochemicals, which he made from the herbs, and then made a whole load of other shit to just chuck in it to make you sick. Right, says verse 4 says, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor him. Once again, us in this truth through the Spirit, we don't abhor these medicines, man. I mean, these herbs, the medicines of the earth. But once again, the basis of man Esau, he like I said, he'll laugh at you for using the herbs, right? Let me get Psalms 104:14. It says, he causeth the grass to grow for cattle and the herb for the service of man. And this ain't talking about no weed, right? That he may bring forth food out of the earth. And you've got the saying, let food be your medicine and medicine your food. So it's something like that. Man, that's how ultimately the Lord had created the world, right? And I'm just gonna end. These weren't in any particular order, by the way. I was just precepts that came to my mind. It says John 10:10 says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And Esau's been the thief. Esau's just all of those, man. He's just destroying force from the times of Cain. And with these pharmaceuticals, man, he's been just killing people, destroying people, everything, man. Right, it says, I am come, Yahushai, that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Right, so on the one side, you got Yahushai is coming to bring back life. Right, coming to set order to things. And he's going to take out Esau, because in the kingdom, they ain't going to, after 1,000 years of slavery, there ain't going to be no need for Esau. There ain't going to be no need for the wicked. So with that, Lord's all been edified. Let's say Shalom.